Good afternoon once again from the World Government Summit in Dubai. Very pleased to welcome Dr. James Green, former chief scientist of NASA in the United States, who flew all the way to Dubai. Thank you very much for being with us. As you know, the UAE is at the forefront. They are very bullish in terms of their space program.
Oh, yeah, they are.
No single doubt. And also they have the year of sustainability extended throughout 2024. And they hosted 2020 COP28.
Right.
Even Egypt had COP27. So the region is buzzing in two things, in space and sustainability. What is the interconnection in between for the audience?
Well, indeed, in space is not resource rich in the sense that you take everything with you and you need more and more and more. You have to use what's available. And in fact, sustainability is really all about taking, consuming things, but also then reshaping them to be able to use them again. And so what we learned by doing that in space, we actually should be able to apply here on Earth.
Okay. In terms of R&D, the Middle East, including UAE, is very bullish in terms of developing their skills.
Yes.
What are the constructive and the main elements to progress and expedite this?
I think there's two really big areas in aerospace, and that is not only the engineering, challenge our engineers to think about how things can work in space, which is a very harsh environment. And that includes how to develop capability that allows humans to survive in space. Those are huge engineering challenges. What they learn from that can be applied here on Earth in many different ways. The other part of the workforce that I would like to see enhanced is in the area of the sciences. Science allows us to acquire the right data, figure out what data to acquire when we go into space, and then bring that back, analyze it, and understand the origin and evolution of the Earth and what's going to happen in the Earth in the future. And that's all science-driven. And so when the scientists and the engineers get together, it's a perfect combination. And I think NASA's shown that that's the best combination I've seen because of the success that they've had.
Definitely. My last question is about the public-private partnerships, which is key basically for the advancement. What can you relay to us in this part of the world?
Well, what's happening is a move to low Earth orbit for the commercial environment allows them to explore a really unique area. You can write down all the equations you want, and those with the constant G, which stands for gravity, you make that zero, and it simplifies so many things. So the body, once it's in space, really makes some radical changes. These changes can help because we then can see how they work in space and be able to model that here on Earth. But we actually can produce purer drugs in space. We can find all kinds of new medical techniques and supplies by that environment, by using things in that environment. It's just a fabulous environment. It's a very commercial environment because you can develop products that the public needs.
Yeah, and this is my last question on behalf of my son Omar, who wants to study aerospace.
Yeah.
And I'm debating. I tell him that mechanical is much broader and more lucrative financially, and aerospace rather than aerospace. How do you foresee the future of the aerospace sector as a whole individually?
Oh, it's going to expand greatly. Just think about this. When I started in the space program in the early 70s, it was the Soviet Union and NASA and maybe a couple other small space agencies that were growing. We now have 70 countries involved in space actively with agencies and many other activities that they're doing. 35 countries have signed the Artemis Accords to work together to build capability on the moon, to be able to look at resources that are there and provide an activity that allows us to explore a new and unique world. In other words, work on another planetary surface besides the Earth. And that will enable us to go to Mars. So think about all the engineering things that are needed between here and being able to live and work on the planet Mars, which is in their future. It's mind-boggling.
So you think that it is indeed lucrative for future?
Oh, absolutely. You bet. In fact, I have to tell you, I wish I had just graduated with my PhD because those people that are just coming out of school right now have this enormously bright future they can step into.
Dr. James Green, former chief scientist of NASA. Thank you very much for being with
Very,
us.
very welcome. Thank you.